Much. Okay, I'm going to record. Good evening, everybody. This is Christina Campbell. I'm a nationally certified master aromatherapist, and I have a bachelor's degree in nutrition. So I've been doing this for a while. I got my bachelor's degree, I think, in 1983 or 84. So I've been around for a minute. Just a minute. But, you know, I got quite a few minutes left. So tonight we're going to talk about detoxing, how to detox with Young Living essential oils, but we're also going to talk about other types of detox. We're going to ask you the question, if you think, I'm going to put you on mute because we're getting a lot of background noise. There we go. If you need to ask a question or you have a comment, feel free to unmute yourself and just jump right in. We are always open for questions and for comments. We most definitely are. So we want you to ask the question, do you think you need a detox? If you need a detox before we start or not, think about that for a minute. And then at the end, I'm going to ask you that question again and see if in your mind you may have changed your thought process. All right, so let's talk a little bit about detox. Spring cleaning, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this early on this year, is an annual ritual to clear out all the dust and the cobwebs and the clutter that have accumulated in your home over the winter. Well, our bodies also deserve a spring cleaning to flush out toxins that have accumulated over time. And adding a detoxifying cleanse to your annual routine can help you increase your energy flow, and it can help you with overall well-being. Just one moment. Hey, Kenneth, can you give me a glass of water? Ice? So I think it's interesting because when my mom was alive, I grew up every spring at least when she moved to Arkansas, and that was probably around 1985. Every spring I'd go down and we would pick something called pokeweed. I don't know if you've heard of poke salad. And
Christina?
Yes?
Are you recording?
I thought I was. Yeah. Yeah, it's recording. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Well, yeah, I had started recording and then I had to stop it and then I had to start it again. But yeah, we're recording. So thank you very much, Judy, for checking on me. I always need somebody to somebody to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So anyway, every spring I'd go down to visit my mom. She lived in Arkansas, and we would pick something called pokeweed or poke salad. And it was a ritual, and it had been for generations in the South, that you would pick, I'm going to put everybody on mute because we're getting, yeah, and you can unmute yourself if you need to. We would pick poke and then we would fix it. And the way we fixed it is poke is actually very high in oxalic acid. It's very cleansing to the body, but what you do is you boil it and then you rinse off the water and you boil it again and you rinse off the water and you boil it again and you rinse off the water. So you do 3 boils with 3 rinses to get the predominant amount of oxalic acid out of the poke. And then you saute it in, we used to use an iron pan, the old iron skillet. And we'd pick spring onion because that comes up at the exact same time. So we'd pick spring onion and we dice that fine. And then we would put that in a pan with scrambled eggs. And then you scramble the eggs and you eat the poke. And what it does is it helps the body to detoxify by flushing out toxins that have accumulated over time, over that last year. One of the things that if you grew up in a farmer area or, your grandparents were farmers or you were around cattle or horses or any of that, livestock, you'd notice that in the spring, they were usually let out to a new clover field or alfalfa field or whatever. And what that would do, it would clean out their system. All of those new plants that came up in the spring, fresh, green, chlorophyll-laden greens, would be eaten by the livestock, and it would cleanse their system. It would help them to detoxify. It would do the spring house cleaning. There's many ways to do spring house cleaning, and we're going to talk about some. We're getting into summer here in about a month. Yeah, in about a month. However, the human body can be cleansed anytime. And this has been really a great season to cleanse because of the fact that most people have been stuck in the house, so to speak. So, stuck in the house, they can't go to a restaurant. Why not take advantage of a good cleanse, and then you don't have to worry about going to a restaurant or eating out or any of that. Doctors actually suggest that everyone should detox at least once a year. However, there are some cautions against detoxing for nursing mothers because they need the calories, children and patients with chronic degenerative diseases, cancer or tuberculosis. So consult your healthcare professional or practitioner if you have any questions whether or not detoxing is right for you. But of course, if you're like me and you don't have a healthcare practitioner, then you do your research and you make sure that you're being as safe as you possibly know to be after doing all your research. You have to do your research though, right? Today, more than any time, there are more toxins in our lives than ever. And it's really critical to detox. So I want to have you listen to your body. And if you have more than 4 symptoms that we're going to go through, as I mentioned them, maybe make note, you can probably greatly benefit from a detox. Unexplained fatigue, sluggish elimination. Now, what do I mean by sluggish elimination? I think you need a definition of that. And the reason is because of all the health consultations that I've had over the last 21 years, the question of, are you constipated, comes back with varied answers. Like, no, I go once every couple of days. Well, that's constipation to me. No, I go once in the morning. Well, that's not the best, healthiest elimination. That is what we call sluggish. You should actually be having a bowel movement 20 minutes to hour outside of after you eat a meal. This is optimal digestion, optimal, they call it tract time, that it's in your digestive tract, and you'll feel a lot better. You won't have bloating. So sluggish elimination means that you're not going after every meal. Now, if I'm not talking about a handful of, trail mix as a meal, I'm talking about a meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And so that's when you should eliminate. Irritated skin. And I will tell you that I am a prime example of somebody who really, really needed a detox. Really needed to detox because my skin was so bad. For those of you who know my story, I was diagnosed with Gulf War syndrome in about 1998. And I found Young Living in 1999. But I had suffered with Gulf War syndrome since 1991. So I suffered for about 8 years. And what some of the side effects or what I was dealing with was severe migraine headaches, for one thing. I was going through over $600 in Emitrex shots a month. And I had a severe skin issue. I mean, I could take a white tissue and put it on my face and it would be yellow. My face would ooze and crack and bleed, and they would treat it with topical steroids, oral antibiotics, and prednisone. I was teaching all around the world, and it was really embarrassing for me because my skin looked so bad, and I was in front of all ranks and all services because I taught for, for the military. I taught the military. And it was just disconcerting, to say the least. So I got into the oils in 1999, but it wasn't until 2003 that I went to Young Living's clinic, which at that time was in Springville, Utah. And I stayed there for 2 weeks, and they cleared up my skin completely. And what they had told me was that I had toxic buildup in my intestine that had probably been there for about 17 years. Although I had a six-pack because of, Army training, sir, running and push-ups and, all of that. But my skin was so bad, and I still had, I didn't know that I had this toxic buildup. So what I would do while I was in the military, well, no, not until after I got out of the military, I became a government contractor. I would do the master cleanse. And Kathleen, I think you're going to find this pretty interesting because I had the philosophy, and this is really what I want you guys to understand. I had the philosophy that if I cleansed my body enough, I would get rid of this skin disease. And they really didn't have a name for it. They called it atypical rosacea, atypical psoriasis, atypical dermatitis, and atypical eczema. They didn't really know what it was. I had 19 dermatologists look at my face at St. Louis University here in St. Louis. I had biopsies, plugs taken from my face and my back and my arm. And they scraped my skin, put it under a microscope to try to find out what was wrong, and they couldn't find it. They couldn't find anything. So when I was self-treating myself, I had found the master cleanse, and I thought, okay, if I cleanse enough, and I really believe this, if I cleanse enough, I will clear out my skin. And so I started the master cleanse, 7 days I went on it. No skin clear up. 10 days I would go on it. I went on it for 17 days. My skin didn't clear up. Now this was before I went to the Young Living Clinic. I went on it for 30 days. Now we're going to talk about the Master Cleanse in a little bit so that you understand what it entails. And I highly, highly recommend it. But after 30 days, my skin was worse than it had been when I started. So out of futility, I decided to go to the clinic in 2003. I took money out of my 401k and I spent 2 weeks in a bed and breakfast and drove myself every day to it was called the Young Life Clinic. And I think it was about day 2 or 3 that the iridologist had taken a look at me. And an iridologist is somebody who reads the iris of the eye. The iris of the eye is like a microcosm of your entire system, all your systems, glands, and organs. It can tell the health of your cardiovascular system. It can tell the health of your digestive system. It can it's amazing. In fact, it's so amazing that when I was at the Young Living Clinic here again in February of this year, the doctor that was on staff, he had two huge Bernard Jensen books, volume 1, volume 2 on iridology. And I vowed that I would go to school to become an iridologist. It is so fascinating. It is so fascinating. And this is kind of the kind of person I am. I love to find out new stuff, especially, you know, our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God is so, you know, incredible, and he has so much great information out there that we, as, you know, Western culture, have not really embraced. You know, and if we had, like many years ago, like Bernard Jensen, we've left it by the wayside, and I think that's sad. And I think that I would like to, you know, revive some of that stuff. You know, the kind of person I am is that once I get certified and I could do a really good job, I would just do it for free, because I just want to help people. I want them to, you know, be able to find out what's wrong and then do something about it. But anyway, when I was at the clinic in Springville and they did iridology on me, they found out that I had a prolapsed colon. And I may have had a prolapsed colon for a very long time. It could have been from the time that I had my last child. And so if you look at a colon, and I don't know if I can draw a picture for you here. I probably can if I figure it out. I don't know if I can. Well, anyway, if you look at the colon, and I'm going to kind of just use my pointer, because I don't know how else to do this. You have the ascending colon, which goes up the right side of your body, so it's under your liver, right? And then you have the transverse colon, which goes across your belly, and then you have the descending colon, which goes down into the rectum. So it's the ascending, the transverse, and the descending. It was at the juncture of the ascending and the transverse, where that dipped, where that transverse colon dipped, there was impingement, or there was, you know, crimping. And so I was reabsorbing toxins constantly, reabsorbing. And because they diagnosed me with Gulf War syndrome and said that they felt that either the inoculations or the burn off of the Kuwaiti oil wells, all those petrochemicals, had gotten into my system, and I had been reabsorbing them, and they were causing cellular damage for so long that I would probably have, well, we found out that I would have permanent cell damage to some things, semi-permanent. I don't believe anything's permanent. I believe God can heal everything, and he has probably healed me 90% or more from where I was back then. In fact, I found a journal the other day, and I could not believe what I was reading. It was dated November of 1998, and I was so sick. So what the clinic did then, they started a regime of colonic hydrotherapy, which helped to lift that colon and to clean out all of that stuff. And it took about 4 days. And, you know, I'm just being frank with you here. It doesn't bother me. It took about 4 days for them to actually get up, you know, through the transverse and into that area that was impinged, and flush it out. And then we had to work on that. We had to keep flushing it out. And the stuff that was coming out of there was literally black. And the emotional release that I had was literally, I mean, I just started crying, because it was so emotionally freeing, I guess you could say. It's really hard to explain unless you go through it yourself. But my skin began to clear up, and they had before and after pictures of me on the wall in the clinic when you first came in, and it was like night and day. my skin was as soft as a baby's butt. I mean, seriously, it was beautiful. And I was so, so grateful. And still to this day that I've learned all of the things that I've learned. Now, was the cleanse bad? No, cleanses are not bad in and of themselves. But who knew that I had toxic waste trapped in my colon for 17 years, and then I exacerbated it by putting a whole bunch of chemicals on top. So some of the things that are going to happen are allergies as well. When your body has the inability to break down protein antigens, you're going to have allergic reactions. That's why every person with allergies should be on enzymes. They should be taking either detoxzyme, allerzyme, essential zyme 4, all of the above, mix them up, in and out. I take 10 detoxzyme every night before I go to bed. I take 10 detoxzyme, 2 Life 9, and anywhere from 2 to 6 sulfurzyme every night before I go to bed. That's my before the bed little dish of supplements. 10 detoxzyme. If you're not constantly detoxing to some degree, then what happens is you start building up debris. You start building up toxins. So allergies, low-grade infections thrive in a nasty environment. They love to eat the sugar and they love to just muck up the works. They just love to muck up the works. So you might have low-grade infections, and if you do, then you would benefit greatly from a detox. If you have puffy eyes or bags under your eyes, this is indicative of somebody who's holding in toxins. If your eyes are yellow, you're having trouble with, your liver, and you need to do a detox to clear those eyes out. If you have bloating, just first off, get off the bread, the pasta. This is the worst thing that, this SAD, the standard American diet has out there for us today. All of the genetically modified bread and carbohydrates. These are killing us. You don't realize that just the fact that they're genetically modified are jacking with your digestive system. Not to mention that it's carbohydrate you don't need. It's going to tend to diabetes. We talked about this last week. We don't need there are carbohydrates in every processed food out there. Think about going in on a paleo diet. Where we had a great dinner tonight. Kenneth made a wonderful salad, and he always makes, the vinaigrettes or whatever, but by scratch. And then he sauteed scallops. So that's all we had. We had scallops and salad, and I'm full. I finished the salad. I mean, I ate all the rest of the salad because this is the way you should eat. This is the way you should eat. We shouldn't be putting mounds of carbohydrates into our body. You can have menstrual problems. Your cramps are going to be worse if you need a detox. You're going to have mental confusion. And the problem is, if you have a toxic system, you can be putting vitamins and supplements and all oils on and in your body, but unless you're using cleansing supplements and cleansing oils, they're not going to be able to even do their job as effectively until you start to detoxify that body. So detoxes clear the skin. They will increase metabolism. They will increase fat burning. If you are overweight get a check on it now. Because it isn't going to get any easier to lose the weight in 5 years. I'm going to tell you right now. In fact, if you continue to add pounds, you're going to lose the battle. The problem is that people know what to do, but they don't do it. It's called the knowing doing gap. We know what to do, but we don't do it. Why is that? I will tell you why. It's the way that we are programmed. It's the way our subconscious mind is programmed throughout our whole life. And what that program is a myriad of habits. It can take up to 66 days to change a habit. Taking a committed attitude toward changing your diet, changing your lifestyle, getting out there and walking, getting some exercise, making a committed effort to doing that, and doing it habitually until you break the paradigm that's in your subconscious mind that has caused you to be overweight, that has caused you to eat an unhealthy diet. This is the thing that you have to understand, is that you cannot change your way of life until you change your mind. And detoxing will suppress the appetite. It will stabilize your blood sugar levels. It will give you a sense of relaxation and relieve stress. And it will promote and enhance weight loss for sure. In 17 days of the Master Cleanse, I would lose about 15 pounds. It was easy, easy. It will boost your energy levels. It will improve overall health, and it will reduce fat cells. I mean, all of those things are like great things, right? So how do you start a detox? First of all, you lighten up your toxic load. You can eliminate things like alcohol. Number one, eliminate alcohol. It's toxic. Coffee, cigarettes, refined sugars. And I just talked about all of those prepackaged food, those prepared foods, those breads, those pastas. Saturated fats. Good fat is good. You know, omega-3 fat is good. Avocado oil, grapeseed oil, olive oil, as long as you don't heat it. Olive oil is good on salad, but don't heat it. If you're going to heat your oil, if you're going to saute, use grapeseed oil. Use grapeseed. We love grapeseed oil. It's a very, very good oil. All of these act as toxins in the body. Saturated fats, refined sugars, all of these things. And they're obstacles to your healing process. You know, you have to ask yourself, how bad do I want it? And what I would recommend that you do is that you visualize yourself and your body in a healthy state. You see yourself where you want to go. I know this is silly, but I have this picture on my desk. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. I have this picture on my desk, and it says, look at that. Now I'm 67. She's not. But it says, this is me in 8 months. Look at her. She's running. She's using all of these Young Living products. She's got the master formula. She's got protein. What else has she got? She's got zinc and nicotine and nitro. But and it also says powerful products to support the healthy maintenance of an active lifestyle. So I might not be running a marathon or running sprints, but I'm out there walking 5 miles a day, and anybody can do that. You can work up to 5 miles a day. 10,885 steps today. That's what I've got on my Garmin. 10,885 steps. Everyone should be doing a minimum of 10,000 steps. I talked about this last week, I think, or the week before. It's imperative that you start moving, that you start taking these things that are unhealthy out of your body. Also, think about minimizing the use of chemical-based household cleaners and personal health care products. And if you're in Young Living, or maybe you've just started in Young Living, this is a great time to start transfer buying. And what that means is, so you're gonna maybe you use Right Guard deodorant, and you know you're about ready to run out. You know that next month you're gonna need to get another thing of Right Guard deodorant. Put Valor deodorant on your essential rewards and get a chemical-free, aluminum-free, non-toxic deodorant that smells divine. Valor smells divine. And the same thing with your shampoos and your you know, if you're a female, face cleansers and your toothpaste. We've got the best whitening toothpaste out there. They tested it against the leading whitening toothpaste and found that it was far above them. It's in whiteness. They did, you know, tests, like they could tell, color tests, I guess. But one of the things that most of these other toothpastes have are what they call nanoparticles. And these nanoparticles get in the bloodstream, and they have no idea. Okay, I guess somebody got unmuted. They have no idea what the long-term effects of these nanoparticles are in the blood. And that's one thing that Young Living does not do. We don't put nanoparticles in our lotions. We don't put them in our toothpaste. We don't put them in our deodorant. And those are the things that, you know, OTC stuff, over-the-counter stuff, has in it now. It has nanoparticles. They're little plastic balls that can go right into your bloodstream, and it causes it to roll smoother or to apply smoother or feel softer or whatever. Substitute natural alternatives. All the natural alternatives that Young Living provides are Young Living, you know, household cleaner, our lip balms, our facial scrubs. We've got shampoo. We've got bath gels. I keep reading, people didn't even know we had bath gels. I keep reading, people got bath gel for the first time and they absolutely loved it. And that was one of the first products I got from Young Living. I guess it was just something that I you know, resonated with. I loved bath gels. I love baths. I still love baths. So I've always loved their bath gels. They have Evening Peace, Evening Peace, Morning Start, and I think Sensation. Anyway, the simplest ways for your body to naturally eliminate toxins are through breathing, sweating, and eliminating through the gastrointestinal system. There are a wide variety of methods for cleansing your body, along with many different levels of intensity. However, the simplest and the most important step that you can take to help your body flush out toxins is to drink more water. And what this bottle has in it is it has lemon slices and it has peppermint leaves in it. But you can put a drop of lemon and a drop of peppermint in your water, and it's really refreshing. Or you can get the Young Living Vitality Drops. This one is grapefruit and bergamot. And sometimes I use it and sometimes I don't. Right now I'm just drinking straight water. And I need lots of it for talking a lot. But the simplest way is to drink more water and then adding more movement to your daily routine. So flush out those toxins. By adding more movement to your daily routine, it's also going to increase your circulation, and it's going to release endorphins, which act as positive mood boosters. So get out there and walk. Get out there and walk. I'm not telling you to run a marathon. I'm just saying get active. Get active. Start lifting some weight. Start doing a little bit of resistance training. Get those muscles engaged. I know some of you go to the gym, but the gyms have been closed. So because the gyms have been closed, have you just kind of put it on the back burner, or have you created or developed a different way to, keep your body toned? And then some of you may not be doing anything at all. But I'm trying to kind of trigger your mind to start thinking about things that you can do to start detoxing slowly. There's some other techniques that you can use to eliminate body toxins. Alternating between hot and cold water in the shower helps promote blood circulation to the skin. I always call this cardiovascular gymnastics. And we were trained in hydrotherapy when my kids were really little. There was a chiropractor in Hibbing, Minnesota that taught us how to treat illness with hydrotherapy. And I remember one time I was so sick. I was in my 20s. And I had a fever. I don't remember if I was vomiting. I just know that I was really, really sick. And so what we would do is we would take a hot bath, soak in a hot tub for like 20 minutes, and then stand up and they'd pour a bucket of ice water over you. Yeah, that's definitely cardiovascular gymnastics. And then you took charcoal internally. You can get charcoal tablets from the health food store. We ran 3 health food stores when my kids were little. One in Hibbing, one in one in Hibbing, one in Virginia. And what was the name of that other town? I don't know. 3 of them anyway. So then you take charcoal and then you wrap your body in a sheet very tightly, and then you go to bed and they put big blankets over you. And I'll tell you what, you will sweat any fever out in a heartbeat. You will sweat. It will detoxify your body. And in 12 hours, you can get over what you normally would have. It's the same thing that, maybe your chiropractor, your doctor says, if you have a sprain or, pulled muscle or something, put heat on it for about 10 minutes. Well, actually, hydrotherapy says 3 minutes heat, 3 minutes ice. 3 minutes heat, 3 minutes ice. You do that 3 times. And then you give it a break. And what that does is it increases flow of blood to that area, and then it decreases toxins in that area and releases coagulated blood. So it's in with the good, out with the bad, so to speak. And you can use these with oils as well, but this is just part of detoxifying. You can also sit in a sauna or a hot tub to promote toxin elimination through sweating. That's always good. And you can get a massage incorporating Young Living's Ortho Sport or Ortho Ease or relaxation or sensation massage oils to help break up lactic acid buildup in the muscles. Lactic acid buildup will also break up with Idaho balsam fir, which we now call Idaho grand fir, and or peppermint. And you might want to dilute those and just, massage your sore muscles. It will break up the lactic acid so that you won't have muscle soreness. If you've been doing a lot of weightlifting, more one day than another, and you don't want to wake up sore the next day, then use your oils. This is a good way to detox that lactic acid buildup. So you might want to start out slow with detox and just calibrate a little bit. And so what I recommend that you might do, this is especially for somebody who's having a difficult time breaking the carb cycle. Breaking the carb cycle. Go on a 5-day nutritive cleanse, it's called. Now, we don't have the digesting cleanse that you see here in this picture, but what I recommend is you can take capsules of peppermint and digize along with this, and this is going to help to eliminate any gas, any bloating, and start to kill parasites. But the Balance Complete, I talked about this on the pancreas diabetes class last week. In being one of the it is low glycemic. So it's going to help to lower blood glucose. And the Ningxia Red is also low glycemic. And the Ningxia Wolfberry has been proven to lower blood glucose. So this is one of the ways that we begin to shift our lifestyle to cure diabetes. This is the way that we begin to shift our lifestyle to get rid of bad dietary habits that are programmed habitually in the subconscious mind. We have to break the paradigm. We have to change the paradigm. We have to start choosing a better way of eating. It's important. So this is a good way to start to recalibrate. And you can take up to 6 ounces of Ningxia Red a day. I recommend that you do the red drink. I think that's a great thing. And so what you're doing is you're taking about 2 to 4 ounces of Ningxia Red in the bottle. You know, so you're going to use an empty bottle or one that's almost empty. And you're going to have 2 to 4 ounces of Ningxia Red in the bottom of that bottle. And then you're going to put, I put a tablespoon. You might want to start with a teaspoon of powdered sulfurzyme. And maybe 3, 4, 5 drops of lime oil, because citrus oils are very cleansing. And they're very good for breaking up fat in the body. And then fill the rest of the bottle with water. Fill the rest of the bottle with water. And drink on that all day. Drink on that all day. And do it again the next day and the next day for 5 days. That's called the red drink. You're going to be feeding your body valuable minerals. Valuable nutrients. You're going to get, I think, Balance Complete is something around 11% protein, and the Ningxia Wolfberry is 17% protein by volume. You're going to get plenty of protein, but you're not going to get all the carbohydrate. And you're going to start cleansing your body, and you're going to start recalibrating that subconscious mind to create better habits. If you want to target the colon specifically, maybe you're not having a healthy bowel movement after every meal. Maybe that's not working for you yet. I'll tell you how it will start working. Clean it up with Young Living's Cleansing Trio. And they almost did away with Essential Zyme. But I was one of the people who wrote to product support at youngliving.com who said, Gary has used Essential Zyme for cancer protocols. He has a ramp up protocol in the EODR that is bar none. Essential Zyme will clean out the gut. It will help to digest undigested proteins. It is a phenomenal digestive enzyme. And remember in the beginning when I said, if you have allergies, you definitely need to be on an enzyme. And the more enzymes you take, the more you will assist your body in getting rid of those protein antigens that are causing the overproduction of histamine in the first place. And the beauty of all of our products, whether it be Essential Zyme or ICP or Comfortone, is they all have oils in them. And Comfortone has something called diatomaceous earth in it, and it has bentonite clay, which is extremely absorbent and cleansing on the inside of that colon. It starts to produce, over time, you're going to follow the protocol in your essential oils desk reference, but over time, Comfortone will reestablish the peristaltic movement in the colon. It's phenomenal. I will tell you that this cleansing trio literally saved my life, because not only did I have migraine headaches with my Gulf War and I had a severe skin disease, but because I had been on medications for so long, oral antibiotics, it had destroyed my natural bacteria in my gut, the healthy bacteria in my gut. And so it took 8 years to destroy my gut, and it took another 8 years to rebuild it to what it is today. And I probably have a healthier gut than 80% of the population, because I take Life 9 every night. I now take 2 Comfortone at my lunchtime meal, just to help absorb toxins, just to help to stay regular. It's a little, I don't know, not a stopgap, but it's a security. You know, it's just doing something proactive. But I'll tell you, when I first started on this stuff, I was taking 2 and 3 at night and 2 and 3 in the morning. And I still take Essential Zyme every day, every meal, Essential Zyme 4 or Essential Zyme. I prefer the 4 because they're easy to put in my pocketbook, and then I can just snap them out of the blister packs. But I do always keep Essential Zyme on hand as well. I have 2 bottles right now. Because if I'm at home, then I'll just grab 2 Essential Zyme before a meal. Or if I forget, then I'll grab one after the meal. But I will take them around the mealtime so that it will aid in the digestion of the foods that I've just eaten, the proteins, the fats, and any carbohydrates. The ICP in the colon cleanse works as an intestinal broom. So you're on Comfortone for 2 weeks before you start ICP, even though these all come together in a 3-pack. It's called the cleansing trio. You wait 2 weeks before you start taking the ICP. And then you take a tablespoon of the ICP and you put it in water or juice or your Ningxia Red or whatever you want, something liquid, and then you drink it, and it goes in and it begins to clean off the walls of the colon where the Comfortone has gone in and begun to loosen everything and to get things moving. And so it just comes, you know, in from behind, literally, in from behind, and works as an intestinal broom. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And it's got oils in it like tarragon and fennel, all very, very supportive to the colon and the digestive tract in general. So this is the way to start a colon cleanse. And I will tell you that when you're detoxing, don't ever do a liver cleanse before you do a colon cleanse. I have a rule of thumb. Do a colon cleanse first, because you don't want to dump a dirty liver into an already dirty colon. Once your colon is cleansed, and it takes about, I would say, 6 weeks. Just do this every day for 6 weeks. And it's not hard. You're taking, you know, the amount of Comfortone that you need to keep you regular. You're doing 1 tablespoon of ICP a day, and you're doing your Essential Zyme with every meal. So you're going to be ordering Essential Zyme probably every month. But your Comfortone, there's 180 of those. Those are going to last a long time. In fact, I got Comfortone on my order today, and I can't remember the last time I ordered it. You know, it's been a while. But I'm getting down in the jar, and so I don't want to run out, so I'm going to put it on my ER order. So what I was saying was, first you cleanse your colon, then you cleanse your liver, and you can do a liver gallbladder cleanse, which we've talked about before, and I'm not going to cover that tonight, I don't think. And then you can do a parasite cleanse with Parafree, and that's about a 2 to 3 month process, because you take Parafree for 21 days, and then you go off for 7 days. That gives those eggs, those parasite eggs, enough time to hatch, and then you go back and clean it out again, because you don't want a reinfestation of parasites. Here's liver cleanses. I guess I am going to talk about liver cleanse. Once you've got that colon cleansed, then you want to start honing in, focusing in on that liver, especially if you suffer from a fatty liver, which comes hand in hand with diabetes, hyperglycemia, liver cancer, cirrhosis. Hopefully nobody on this call tonight has anything like that. But if you know anybody, you can help them protect their liver and to get it back in health again. So Young Living's Juva products provide a natural way to assist the body's natural cleansing functions. Juva Cleanse, and I usually have my book right here. Just a minute, I'm going to get my book. In 2003, Juva Cleanse was tested against patients with hepatitis C. And they had extremely high viral counts. You can find this in your EODR, your essential oils desk reference. Just look under oil blends and turn to Juva Cleanse. L-J-K-L. I'm almost there. Juva Cleanse. In 2003, a study was conducted by Roger Lewis, MD, at the Young Life Research Clinic. Now, Dr. Roger Lewis was my doctor when I went to the Young Life Clinic, and I was there in 2003. And they were doing research to evaluate the efficacy of Helichrysum ledum and celery seed in treating cases of advanced hepatitis C. In one case, a 20-year-old male diagnosed with hep C had a viral count of 13,200, and after taking 2 capsules of Juva Cleanse per day for 30 days, for 1 month, with no other intervention, the patient's viral count dropped more than 80% to 2,580. Doing nothing else, not on any hep C drugs, not getting chemo, because that's how they treat hepatitis C. They give you chemotherapy here. Not doing anything like that. I also recommend it for fatty liver. Take a capsule a day until the bottle's gone. You can take up to 3 capsules a day. But Juva Cleanse is really a powerful cleansing agent. Helichrysum and ledum and celery seed oil are all really great for the liver. The thing is that there's not another oil company out there that has the knowledge and has done the research that Young Living has done, and the Young Life clinics, and the Nova Vitas, and the Dr. Sue Hills of Oman, and all of these people, all of these doctors, and Dr. H.K. Lin, and along with Sue Chow, who was head of the research and development, and Mark for Young Living. All these years, they did due diligence. They found out what worked best. Nobody else has that kind of education. Nobody else has this information. Juvaflex is basically very supportive to the liver. It was one of the first oils that I used many years ago, in the early. The golden, I believe it came in the golden touch 2. Tone is something that Kenneth and I take every day now. We take, he takes 2 at lunch and I take 1 for breakfast. So Juvatone is something that we take every day because it supports the liver. Juva Power we use every day in our house. We use 2 tablespoons in a smoothie and we split the smoothie. So that's 1 tablespoon per person. We do 4 tablespoons of Balance Complete in our smoothie. That's 2 scoops per person. I just double everything, split it in half. We both have a smoothie. We take our vitamins with our smoothie. We take our essential enzymes with our smoothie, and that's our breakfast. So these products will support the liver, the digestive system, and the beautiful thing about Juva Power and Juvatone, Juva Power and Juvatone, is that they bind acids in the blood and in the liver. So acidic body tends to overgrowth of candida, and also acidic body can be, predisposition for cancer because cancer loves acid. Sugar causes acid in the body. So you want to get off, white sugar. I got a guy on here that comes on all the time. His name is Kevin, and I see his face right now. And he's one of the best cheerleaders for no sugar that I've ever met. And I think it was because, didn't they say you might have prediabetes or something?
Yes. The doctor scared the hell out of me when I was 40. So he told me if I kept going the way I was going, when I turned another 10 years, I'll be doing pills for life. So I said that was not happening. I was doing 4 and 5 sodas a day, candy bar on the way home from work. Get home, get cookies, cakes, pies, whatever mom baked up. So yeah, I was sugar 24/7.
How hard was it for you to change your paradigm?
Very hard.
Can you share that with us?
Well, first you gotta quit going to the grocery store and buying the garbage. And
that was the first step. Just don't drive to the grocery store.
Well, actually, the gas stations after work, So I just needed something to keep me awake on the way home. So it's the sugar that kept me awake, but it's actually killing me on the inside that I didn't know about.
It was a wake-up call, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. When you lose your mother at 65 and you're 40, you better do something.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for sharing, Kevin. Kevin is just really, he's a pillar of inspiration. He really does make the right choices. And I stalk him. I watch what he eats, not all the time. But like if we're at a social environment, and Kevin's there and they have stuff, normally people, and these are people who, April's laughing. These are people who, I don't usually eat, this, but I'm just going to have a little piece, It's those little pieces. Be like Kevin. Just say no. Just say, I'm not going to eat that stuff anymore. I choose not to eat that stuff anymore. It's like drinking. I choose not to drink anymore. It's as easy as that. If alcohol is toxic to the liver, stop it. Oh, yeah, but what would I do if I got together with my friends? I don't know. What would you do? Would you drink water? It's okay to drink water with your friends. I mean, just think about changing your paradigm. I know you probably think I'm a fanatic. I am. And then again, I'm just going to reiterate that enzymes play an important part as well in liver cleansing. So you need to be on enzymes all the time. All the time. I take my essential zyme with my meals, and I take detox zyme before I go to bed. To help digest fats and proteins, your gallbladder stores excess bile created by the liver. Gallstones form when the bile contains too much cholesterol and your body does not have the enzymes to break down these semi-hard stones. These stones can cause a blockage if enough of them are allowed to build up. And then they can leave the gallbladder and become stuck in that bile duct, and this can be really painful. This can be a serious issue. Symptoms of a gallbladder attack include indigestion and back pain starting in the upper right area of the abdomen and traveling to the shoulder. You'll never know that you're having a gallstone attack. They're normally felt at night for about 30 minutes, or they could be for hours. And gallstones are conventionally diagnosed by or with an x-ray, and then they are removed. Some folks will have their gallbladder removed, and while this may be necessary in some cases to avoid a rupture, you are generally just removing the symptom but not fixing the cause. So you're still going to create gallstones even though they're not going into your gallbladder. When they don't go into the gallbladder, we call them liver stones. And liver stones can amass in your liver and cause damage. So we have something called GLF. And it just went out of stock. I think it was yesterday or today. I just noticed it. But it stands for gallbladder liver function. That's what GLF stands for. Gallbladder liver function. So what I recommend is that you take a capsule of GLF every day until the bottle's gone. Every day until the bottle's gone. This is a 15 ml bottle. And oh, by the way, Donald, this is an old bottle because it says therapeutic grade on it. I just noticed that. But some of them do still say therapeutic grade on them. I guess I got to do more research. Okay, here's some other things that you can do to flush your liver. The fastest way to flush your liver is to do an organic juice fast for about 3 to 5 days. This means skipping meals, drinking plenty of water, and drinking 6 to 8 cups of fresh juice per day. Now, you have to have a juicer to do this. But this is one way that you can do a cleanse as well. Here is Gary's Vital Life juice recipe. And I have made this 100 times. I'm the only one in my family who will drink it. Kenneth doesn't like beets. And so if you don't like beets, you might not like this. But this is fresh juice, beet, carrot, celery, white radish, ginger, potato. You can puree all the ingredients in a blender and drink 1/4 to 1/2 cup every 2 to 3 hours. Or you can put them in a juicer. I've put them in a juicer. Kenneth. Oh. Okay, here's a grapefruit juice recipe. This refreshing drink is simple to make and easy to drink throughout the day. And again, we're talking about a mini fast, okay? We're not talking about doing this in addition to eating regular food. We're cleansing. And so you can drink 1/2 cup of freshly squeezed grapefruit juice in 1 quart of distilled or purified water. And then add 3 drops of spearmint essential oil and 3 drops of tangerine essential oil. You can add a little bit of local honey to taste, but if you're trying to get off sugar, it might be just too tempting for you. I know that Kevin doesn't have any problem with local honey, but he is no longer even pre-diabetic or anything like that. So he's doing really well. Mix ingredients together in a pitcher and store in the refrigerator and drink it throughout the day. And this would be delicious. Get organic grapefruit. Get organic grapefruit. You can really tell the difference in the taste. I'm going to look at the chat real quick because, okay. Here is Hulda Clark's liver gallbladder cleanse. I'm not going to get into the details of this, but what I want you to do, I actually have this downloaded on my computer. I have her book, what is it, Cures for Cancer or something like that, and the liver gallbladder cleanse is in there. So what I want you to do is I want you to look up Hulda Clark's liver gallbladder cleanse. This is what you can do on a Friday night. You start it like Friday at noon. You have a light salad. You don't have any dinner on Friday night. And then it goes until you can pretty much eat by Saturday night. But you will pass gallstones and liver stones like nobody's business. I'm talking hundreds. Hundreds. Kenneth and I have both done the liver gallbladder cleanse a number of times. It's not something that I really enjoy doing because it's a little bit uncomfortable when you get up in the morning. But look it up. Let me just suffice it to say, if you want any more information, I mean, I don't need to get into the details if you look up the actual recipe. It's just having you drink juice and Epsom salt water to cleanse your bowels and the liver and the gallbladder. And you will literally dump hundreds of gallstones and liver stones. This is a great thing to do every spring. Hulda Clark's liver and gallbladder cleanse. Okay, so let's talk about the master cleanse. And I know Kathleen thinks I'm going to call on her to talk about her recent master cleanse. Also, we want to let you know that she has put in the chat box the let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna bring you to the site so you can see this. This is the Full Circle Holistic Health Master Cleanse. And the next Master Cleanse is going to be June 4th. So can you see Tom on this picture now, or am I still on my PowerPoint?
On the PowerPoint.
Okay, I'm going to stop my share. And then I'm going to start it again. And I'm going to go on Tom. And I'm going to actually let him talk for a second, and then I'm going to have Kathleen talk. Do you mind, Kathleen?
No, that's okay.
Okay. Let me close this. Okay.
Hi, my name is Tom Woloshin. I'm the person that will be guiding you to your first master cleanse, or if you've done 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 already,
Oh, shoot.
to answer your questions and give you support online. Many people are asking who are not familiar with this program, what is the master cleanse? Well, the master cleanse is a liquid mono diet. It's a diet of just drinking lemonade made from maple syrup, lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and water. And whenever you're hungry, you drink lemonade, which usually requires anywhere from 6 to 12 glasses a day. It's generally 8 to 10. It's not a fast, it's not a starvation program. It's a program designed to detoxify the body. And why would you want to do that? Well, when the body gets sick, it's because the body's become acidified from eating too many foods that are acid forming to the body. Our body is designed to run between about 7.3 and 7.4 on the pH scale. And when people get cancer, their pH drops to as low as 4 to 4.5. So going on the cleanse and go over, that's acid. Well, lemon is actually alkalizing to the body, turns to alkaline, even though it's an acid food. So this alkalizing of the body creates a different environment in the body, which prohibits the growth of yeast, molds, funguses, viruses, bacteria, and the proliferation of any kind of disease that you might be experiencing. As I said, it's very simple, very effective. And myself, I did it originally back in 1979 to prove it would not work. And I've now done in excess of 1,600 days. My youngest person, the youngest person I've seen do the cleanse is 4 months of age. The oldest I've had is 94. Gary Young did 256 days in a row and got up and walked away from his wheelchair. And I had another person in Georgia who did 372 consecutive days. That's 1 year and 1 week. And it is safe, I believe, for anybody and everybody. I've had pregnant women, nursing women, people sent home to die with heart disease, with cancer, with any number of things who have healed themselves. I don't heal anybody. This is a technique or a modality or a therapy that anybody can use. And this program that we'll be doing will cover all your questions and make you feel supported and safe with this. And so I hope you can join. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, Kathleen, give us your spiel.
Well, I did 31 days of the Master Cleanse. I started at the beginning of April. I finished about 10 days ago. And the neat thing about this is you have an online support group. Every day at 3 o'clock, we do a Zoom call with Tom and Barney and everybody, and you can ask any question you want. They record the call, so if you can't be there at 3, you can listen to the recording later. I've done Master Cleanse before by myself, and this time it was nice to have all of that support and get my questions answered right away instead of having to look through the book. And he's amazing. He's helped a lot of people do this.
Yeah, I have a close friend, Mary Hardy, who is in her 80s, and her assistant, Gail Mack, took her up to Canada where Tom is, and she did a 10-day cleanse, and she's in her 80s, and she felt like $1 million. So you can actually go up and stay in Tom's kind of bed and breakfast, although you don't get any breakfast. He just makes you lemonade. But he's there to be with you and to, guide you, especially if you're, that age. It's just nice to have somebody there. And this is, in order to be a part of this group, this 10-day group, I think it's 30.
There's a couple of different ways you can do it.
Okay.
You can join it for one cleanse, and I think it's $35, or you can become a member of the group and do it by the month for, I think it's $12.99, or you can join for the year and be an annual member so that you can always have everything available, and that's $129.
Yeah, and Dana Christensen, a friend of ours as well, she started the one just
The
prior
second cleanse.
to May 13th. And she did 10 days and then she went off it. And now she's starting again. So you can go on a cleanse for 10 days, then go off it for 10 days, and then go on it for 10 days. And that's nice because you can come back into the community. And you can get, if you have an annual thing, and you can get supported anytime you want to do a cleanse. Again, I've done up to 30 days. 15 and 17 days were my best times, although I lost more weight on 30 days. And that was really all that I was trying to do. I was trying to lose weight, and I was trying to get my skin in order. But, you know, then we found out that my skin, I wasn't going to get cleansed with the master cleanse because I had a prolapsed colon. So we fixed all that, and now I can do a master cleanse, no problem. Anything else you want to say about it, Kathleen?
No, but I have some questions for you. On your prolapse colon, did they actually do a colon lift on you, or did it? Because Tom does that when you go to his place for the.
Well, what they taught me was how to do a colon massage on an inverted board.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I had to do that regularly for myself, to myself.
Okay.
I also had things like acupuncture and a lot of other, you know, modalities, infrared over my stomach to help the healing of my colon. But I ended up getting what do they call it? It's a teeter.
A teeter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a teeter.
Uh-huh.
And that was very helpful because I could hang upside down and then I could just work my colon. And I think, you know, I mean, now it's been, my gosh, 15 years. I don't have any colon problems, you know, so you can retrain all of that and heal all of that. But you just have to keep putting healthy things in your body and not, you know, letting it get back into that situation again. Okay, let me get any other questions, Kathleen?
No, I think you covered my major question that I had there.
Okay, I'm gonna stop that share and then get back to this share again. Oh, wait a minute. Share my screen. Sorry. I guess I was sharing it. Okay, let's get back to where we were. We were on the master cleanse. Okay, so here it is again. It's a half a fresh squeezed lemon, 8 ounces of distilled water, 1 to 2. Well, he's very specific about only 1 tablespoon of grade B maple syrup, and it's grade B maple syrup or dark maple syrup because it has a lot of minerals in it. And if you're on a cleanse for any length of time, you need those minerals. A pinch of cayenne pepper, and then drink 6 to 12 glasses daily, as he mentioned. Okay, I did mention, oh, let me get my slide all the way up. Okay, I did mention parasite cleanse, and you will pass parasites on the master cleanse. I mean, a lot of people do. I know, I talked to somebody today who, and no names, she's on, I think, day 44 of the master cleanse. And she passed a very visible parasite this morning. So you would not believe how our bodies are infested with parasites. Parafree is one of the best parasite cleanses you can do. There's not a better one that I know of. And you just follow the directions. You take it for 21 days, you're off it for 7 days, and you get back on it for 21 days. I take Parafree even if I'm not doing a parasite cleanse. Not every day, but every once in a while, because it's really supportive to the digestive system. It has wonderful oils in it. Check out these oils. It's got fennel and vetiver and bay and nutmeg and melaleuca and thyme and clove and ocotea and dorado azul, tarragon and ginger, peppermint and juniper, lemongrass and anise and patchouli. And the list goes on and on. It's just a fantastic digestive support. And they are large. I know somebody texted in the chat box that they have trouble taking some of the supplements because maybe the size of them. Well, you can always put your supplements in a smoothie. You know, if they're in capsules, you can open up the capsules. Where there's a will, there's a way. Cut them in half. If Juvatone is too big, which I agree, Juvatone is big, cut it in half. Cut it in half, grind it up into your Vitamix in a smoothie and drink it. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. You can get that down. Okay, detoxifying oils. So all oils are detoxifying. So if you use any oils, you're naturally detoxifying. However, some oils have a stronger effect. And here are some to consider. For general full body detox, lemon will naturally detox you so that you can use this on your feet in the morning, along with purification or melaleuca. And then drink 16 ounces of water with 1 to 2 drops of lemon and peppermint. Add more water if it's too strong. Or place drops in a capsule and swallow them. Yeah, if you have trouble with the capsule, put it in the water. And if you have trouble with the water, put it in a capsule. Find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Circulation. This is key to detoxifying your body. Peppermint and or cypress is perfect for this. And I would recommend just using Cellite Magic with extra cypress and extra grapefruit and extra ledum in it. Because this is all really good for the lymphatic system. It's all good for circulation. It tightens the skin. Oh, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. It's good for skin, colon, stomach. Grapefruit oil. Grapefruit oil. Put it in your Cellite Magic. Get rid of that fat. I met a girl, I think it was my 3rd convention, way back in early 2000s. And we were standing in line waiting to get into, and these are when the conventions were 2,000 people max. And you always talk when you're in line when you're at convention, because you want to find out how people found out about Young Living and how long have they been with Young Living, and you know what prompted them to get involved and yada yada. And this girl was telling me, she looked great, by the way. She was telling me that she had just lost 80 pounds. And I said, you're kidding me. I said, you don't look like you ever had an extra 80 pounds on. And she said, yeah, seriously. She said, I started using Cellite Magic. And she said, I have dropped 80 pounds. And if you're on the Master Cleanse, and this is what I recommended to my girlfriend who's on the Master Cleanse right now. You know, one of the things that happens when you lose weight is that you start to, your skin, you know, isn't always as elastic as, you know, you wish it would just snap back into place. But if you've had an extra 30 pounds on for the last 5 years, it's not going to snap back. But Cellite Magic with extra ledum, grapefruit, and cypress will help that skin to snap back. And so she's, you know, rubbing the oils on her belly and on her waist and on her thighs while she does her Master Cleanse. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can still rub your oils on. Nothing wrong with that at all. Geranium is a great addition to the oils already mentioned too for the liver. And I think that geranium is really an underestimated oil. Take out your geranium and start using it. Start diffusing it. Start rubbing it on your body. Put it in your lotion. You know, there's just so many things that we can do. Now, this is a little bit away from the body. This is more of your home. This is a home detox. Diffuse Citrus Fresh throughout the house, and or place a bottle of Citrus Fresh or tea tree, melaleuca, or purification oil upside down on a new air filter in your home and run the air for about an hour. Or you can drop about 30 drops all over a new filter and let the air run for about an hour. This is going to purify your home, detox your home. Always use cold air diffusers when diffusing, because cold air diffusers are designed to atomize essential oils into a microfine mist where they can remain suspended in the air for several hours. Aroma lamps or candles heat or burn the oils, which can render the essential oils less than beneficial, or worse, they can create a toxic compound. Burned oils may become carcinogenic. That's why you don't want to use Sensi, I think it's called, or plugins or any of those things. You want to use Young Living's diffusers and Young Living's oils. All right, guys, you know, I'm going to ask you, if you're new, start your wellness journey with a premium starter kit. If somebody has invited you to this class tonight, you want to tell them, the lady told me I'm supposed to get a premium starter kit. And I believe her. Because she's been with Young Living for 21 years. And she must know what she's talking about. But this is the premium starter kit. You get 12 bottles of oil. You now get a hand sanitizer and a spray of thieves. And then you get 2 roller balls and 2 packs of Ningxia Red. And you get this beautiful desert mist diffuser. So this kit is $165, and it's about a $400 value if you were to replace every item that you get in this kit. You get a product guide. You get support. If you're on our team, you get support through either texts, or you get invited to these classes so you can learn more about how to use your oils. We're always here answering questions, always here. I must answer 100 questions a day on average. It's fun. I love to, I love to just help people. That's what we're here for. I mean, you don't have to do that if you don't want to answer questions, but that's what I love to do. So keep asking. I'll keep answering. I want to mention what Essential Rewards are, or ER. Essential Rewards are a monthly wellness box that comes to your door. This is the best value you can get. If you do 100 product volume, in other words, you spend $100 on Young Living products a month, you will get free products. You will get discounted prices on certain products that you can only purchase through Essential Rewards. And you'll never run out of products. That's the beauty of it. If you're on a regimen, like Essentialzyme, for example, there are only, I think, 90 tablets of Essentialzyme in a container. And if 2 people in the home are taking 2 at each meal, let's just say you're only eating 2 meals. That's 4 a day, times 2 is 8 a day, times 3, 30 days, is it's 270 tablets, Essentialzyme tablets. So we're going to go through more than 1 bottle. So I need to order bottles every month. I'll order my Ningxia Red every month because I don't ever want to run out. This is a great way to be proactive, to make sure that you have the products that you need to support your body through detox or whatever, supporting the cardiovascular system, supporting the pancreas to avoid diabetes, to support the thyroid. We talk about all of this stuff in classes. Here are some resources. I highly recommend Inner Transformations Using Essential Oils. This is by Dr. Leon Dordreff, who I know personally. She's out of Missouri. And she wrote this book many years ago, but it's powerful cleansing protocols for increased energy and more radiant health. This is the book Healing for the Age of Enlightenment, and this Stanley Burroughs was the developer of the Master Cleanse. So this might be a book that you might be interested in adding to your library as well. Another good book is from a good friend of mine, Stacy Kimbrell, Living Balanced. She presented the book to Gary, and he was very impressed with what she did. She talked about how she got rid of the foods in her house, the bad foods in her house, and changed their paradigm overnight. In fact, by the time she had thrown everything processed and packaged out of her home after coming back from a Young Living meeting. All she had left in the house was carrots. And I think she tells that whole story in the beginning of the book. I read the book quite a few years ago, but it has some great guidelines on, you know, why McDonald's burgers are bad for you. You know, dairy allergens. She talks about a lot of different things. So what you eat and how you take care of your body is basically how Living Balance is written. All right, that's the end of my presentation tonight. I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm going to open it up for questions.